Okay, blessings. I'm not sure what I should apologize for first. The really bad quality of this camera or my crazy hair. But I have been making videos on my phone, which I know have not all been the highest quality, but like I told you guys at the beginning, I am trying to learn how to do this. And my phone has decided that it's not cooperating right now. So I am using my Dell computer, and it's very dark and shadowy and not fantastic. But I think it's kind of jerky too. But I want to get my response out for the YouTube Pagan Challenge for week 4 on whether or not I recognize or what my thoughts are about the Wheel of the Year. And whether I recognize it, the answer is simply yes and no. And maybe that's not that simple. Yes, because the Wheel of the Year, if you really think about it, is actually a calendar of what's going on in our natural world. The universe, it's got the sun. It really is the sun calendar. So the sun and how we are positioned within the universe and everything that is being affected that way and going on in our world with the seasons and everything. So how can you not recognize it is kind of a question. And don't mean to sound like that's a put down to anybody who doesn't work with it, because it's not. It really isn't. But I mean, for myself, how can I not recognize it? But another reason that I really appreciate the Wheel of the Year, let's put it that way, is that it is a great tool for raising children. If we want to have our children raised, whether or not we're telling them, hey, you need to be a pagan and you need to do this, just to at least have that stability and that understanding, there needs to be some kind of structure and tradition in life. And that's one of the things, we're always bringing up the Christians, but, they've got Christmas and they've got Easter. And we're not getting into where Christmas and Easter came from at the moment. We're just saying they have these things. They go to Sunday school and things like that, which puts structure for the kids. And it's really a fantastic thing. And a lot of people actually go to church, even if they don't believe it, because they want something that they can be a part of. And so the traditions that come with the Wheel of the Year are a great tool to be used with those kids and raising them. You can do the lessons slightly. I'm not saying kids have to be a part of a big ritual, but you can incorporate lessons and do little types of rituals or activities at home with them and just have some type of recognition. And it's a great way to raise them. My suggestion, which I'm not going to get into again right now, is that kids get exposure to everything. We do not want to be the parents that many of us had. Actually, I don't think I did, but many of us had that said, this is what you believe and this is why. We want to give the children the opportunity to make their own choices, and so we want to give them exposure, and hopefully we can do better than our past generations. I'm not saying don't honor the ancestors. Again, it's just even the ancestors would want to know that their children are doing better than they did. How I personally recognize the Wheel of the Year is a little different. I'll do things with the kids, but then I've got my own beliefs and thoughts in my own individual traditions. And here's where the yes and no comes in. or I guess the no part of it. I'm going to start at the beginning of the year, and for 2 reasons, I'm starting it in bulk. We go by the calendar. It's the Gregorian calendar. I'm not going by which one do you think is the new year. I'm just starting at the beginning of the calendar that is hanging up in our kitchens. And also because Imbolc was my first dedicatory Sabbath, so to me, it's always a beginning. And in a sense, that's really a lot of what Imbolc's about, is new beginnings, starting fresh, and that's why there's a lot of cleaning, and it's calling into spring, and I think that's a wonderful thing. So with the kids, I'll do something with them, and maybe tell them the stories of Bridget, and find some kind of activity or way to recognize it, depending on the weather, if we're going to go out and search for spring, or if we're going to stay bundled up inside and have that last vestige of winter comfort. But then after they go to bed, I myself, as a solitary, will always do a personal ritual and rededication. It's just something that's really important to me for Imbolc. For Ostara, I love Ostara. I love Ostara with the kids. And if you guys ever have a chance to go to Sedona, I'm sure you've heard of Sedona, Arizona, for Ostara, it is wonderful. They do not have an Easter egg hunt. They have a community spring egg hunt, which is really more Ostara based than anything, and it's just the most fun. And do all of those cool activities with the kids. At home, what I do with my girls, and they just love it. They remember it from the first time they did it, and I think one of them was only a year old at that first one. But we do that jelly bean ritual that you may have seen, and I'll talk about that more when we get closer to Ostara. And we do a couple other things, and just really have a fun day and play with the animals and be outside and just have a really nice time. Beltane. I love Beltane also. And Beltane is definitely a time to feel close to the Fae and do anything fairy related that you can think of. Another thing, if you've got a community that does a maypole, take part. It is so fun and so energetic, and it's just something that you don't forget once you do it, if you really do it right, and it's just beautiful. So again, fun things to do for yourself, ways to recognize your spirituality, and do it with the kids. Then we come to the summer Sabbaths, basically, and I'm going to include Litha, Lunasad, and Mabon. And I know Mabon's not technically a summer Sabbath, but I'm putting it there because I don't really do a whole lot to recognize those, because I'm a bit of a sun worshiper myself already. And so in a sense, I feel like I'm always honoring that. And I'm a total carb eater, so I'm into the grains and what's grown too. But for Mabon, but I try and make some kind of recognition, especially for the kids, but definitely just get out and honor it. And if I forget about it, it's okay, because I'm already out there honoring the sun, having fun. And girls, don't be as much of a sun worshiper as I have always been, because that's what causes the wrinkles, okay? So, On to Samhain. Samhain is wonderful. Again, another thin veil time of year. And I'm sorry, I've got a poster hanging in front of me, and it's got something that I didn't know what it was and caught my eye. The spirit is so magnificent on Samhain. I love it. And with the kids, I'll go out and do the Halloween stuff, and I will always come home and do ritual. And I like doing the ritual with them too. I really teach them what Samhain really is, and it's just so fun. It's a beautiful holiday. Last year, actually, because I'm away at school, I wasn't even with the kids, and it was the first time that I was on my own for Samhain. And a lot of my cohort was getting together and having a Halloween party, and carving pumpkins and the whole bit. And they were so shocked that I wasn't going to join them. And I wasn't trying to be unsociable, but I had told them, it's like, I've never been alone on this day, and I just want to try and just recognize the Sabbath the entire day. And it was singly the most spiritual day that I've probably ever had in my life, because I just spent the entire day submerged in the spirituality of it, and I loved it. On to Yule. Am I missing something? Seems like I've gone through really quick. Well, on to Yule. Of course we do Yule. We do all the Christmassy type things and everything, but I make sure that the girls understand what Yule is also, and we go out and do both parts, and then, doing our own rituals or going to community rituals, whatever. And so, it kind of comes back around that we're back at Imbolc, and a lot of them I have very strong feelings about, and some of them I don't really pay as much attention to. But I try and recognize or acknowledge every Sabbath within the wheel of the year. And again, when you're raising children, I think that is extremely important to do. You want to give them that foundation. And that's all I have for right now. Again, I am so sorry that this is horrible looking. I think I am about as dark in this video as y'all look to me all the time anyway. So, wow, it's really weird. But yeah, that's what I've got to say about that. And now I sound like Forrest Gump. So have a wonderful, beautiful day, and blessed be. And I don't think that went off, did it?